All right, this is my third attempt. Ah, it's streaming, it's working. All right, stage 10. Thank you so much for your tech support help. Chat was really awesome. I have a document right up here that you can see, and that is my mother's last will and testament. I did not read this for 12 years. Every time I started to read it, I just couldn't finish it because it would remind me about what my mother went through on the last of her days on this earth, which was something out of a scary psycho terrorizing movie. It was awful. She was imagining things. She was writing scribbles and writing words down like she was losing her mind. And this screaming at people. Um, Before all of it happened, she gave me the power, which is the worst job in the entire world, to decide her fate. You know, sometimes, people, you can say those words and it's all, it's nothing compared to when it's time and you're sitting in a room with the doctors and they're telling you, because you have to make the decision whether or not to keep your mom alive, your mom, the person that raised you. Anyways, for 12 years, I did not look at this will or testament. I left it in the file folder. The other day, my sister and I were on the on the day that she died, which was April 27th or 28th. I don't know why I can't remember. I have a daughter who passed a day later, a couple years later, so I get those two dates confused. This was a shitty season for me. I hate it. And I usually can't wait till after Mother's Day because of it. Anyways, let's talk about her last will and testament. The reason this is super important, at least to me, and in my story, is because, like I said, she was suffering up until her death. And the people that would come and visit her were were all Scientologists. And it was like one of the creepiest feelings ever because at the time they had control over me still, as a member, because they would have and could have, in my head, really hurt my family by removing or making us disconnect from my mother. And my mother needed me, so I couldn't really disconnect from my mother. But that's the rules of the church. Even on her dying bed, she was worried about me disconnecting from her. And I never really bought into Scientology, I guess. I always wondered what everybody was getting out of it, of the auditing, because I didn't get very much out of it. And when you don't get anything out of it, they start to call you like you're bad, like there's something wrong with you. It's never them, it's always you. And it gets you really in your head. So her last will and testament, I mean, her spirit or her state of mind at the end was psycho, and she was losing it. And her attorney, who was a Scientologist, McNabb, I think was his last name. He, uh, I remember him coming in and having her sign her will papers, and that's kind of something that our family. I never knew anything about that stuff. I know I have so much time that I don't know what people should be doing. From 9 years old until older. I just didn't know. How would you know if you were never taught, or even it never even would have occurred to you? So, my mom's last will and testament, I put it up here, is proof, because the question I've had in the last 12 years is, did my mom truly believe in Scientology? Is it possible, crossing fingers, is it possible that she maybe didn't? And the proof is in her will, which was, leave my estate to the Church of Scientology, AOLA, for my use in future lives. So she believed that she would be coming back to inhabit another body as a little person, she fully believed all of this. And at this point in my life, in hindsight, I have kind of unwound what I believed in also. And I do not believe that you can have past lives, that's fine. And you can come back in another life and come back. Hopefully, if you're a bad person, you come back in a body that isn't very fun for you because you were a bad person. But my mom should come back as a unicorn with rainbows, my favorite things. But that kind of sealed it. The last will and testament shows me that my mom did not have any concerns about dying. She figures she's going to come back. And that doesn't make it any better for me. And I don't know about my sister, but it doesn't make it any better for me knowing that she went willingly to a place where I'll never know or see her again. Number one, but also what they did up to that point to manipulate her. You know, she didn't go get help fighting cancer that most people would do. She believed them. And that's what really pisses me off. So that's all for today. I'm going to go get tissues. Is it done?